We are here on theStream.tv with your favorite Outlander after show. My name is Keetin Marchi. I am your host. And for the finale, we do have both the co-hosts here. We have Miss Jen Barnes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Jen!
Jen Barnes is watching us live right now.
Which you can do.
I was trying to log in so that I can be like, hey guys, thanks for live chatting us. I didn't know where that was coming
The joys
from.
of a live show.
The joys
Jen
of
Barnes,
live
ladies and
Jen
gentlemen.
Barnes, everybody.
No, I want to be able to be like, hi guys, thanks for live chatting us. Thanks for tuning in at 8:15 with us.
Absolutely.
Yay.
And our resident Outlander, Mr. Ryan Hooks again.
Yes, I'm here as usual. The neck up shot's not a good one, is it?
No, because he does, ladies and gentlemen, have the kilt on. Ryan, stand up real quick. Just stand up. Show us the kilt.
He took pity on everyone.
He did take pity to show it off.
Look at my bony knees.
Oh,
my
put that
God.
away.
No.
The
Put
ladies
that
wanna
away.
see?
Sit down. Sit down.
It's not summer yet. I know
Sit
you're not
down.
ready for that.
Well, first of all, I want to say happy Outlander Day, because today is Outlander Day. So happy Outlander Day to you all. But on a very, very sad note, Droughtlander begins again.
No. And like, who knows for how long?
You thought it was
'cause
bad last time.
Nothing has been announced.
You at least knew last time that the Droughtlander was going to end.
No.
Yeah, we
When the
had
show-
like a countdown we could go
But you know
to.
what?
But we don't.
I was at Diana Gabaldon's Q&A and book signing yesterday at the Grove, and she said last she heard from Ronald D was that it's probably going to be around April or May of 2016. And I can't.
I tweeted about this
can't.
earlier, and I think April is spot on because
Yeah,
the last few seasons, the way that Starz has staged with Black Sails and Outlander, Black Sails season 3 is filming right now. They'll probably
Yeah.
roll it into February. They'll air it on Saturdays of February for 2 months, and then they'll roll right into Outlander.
Also, I
season
think
2.
the anniversary of Culloden is coming up that next year. Remind me of the years, guys, on the live chat.
Yeah, in
you guys
April.
remember?
Yeah, I don't
Heard
remember
about
the
that.
offhand, but yeah, I think that would
1746?
work.
Yeah.
I think that's what I saw online.
1746?
When the anniversary actually happened.
Well, let's talk.
Let's talk Outlander.
Anyways.
Yeah, let's talk Outlander. Let's talk the finale episode. Oh, Jen does want to show off.
I'm sorry, guys, but she signed
Have
my
a nerd
book.
moment.
And she retweeted you.
I know.
Hi,
she retweeted
Diana.
me. She signed my book. Thanks, Diana. I love you.
She's awesome.
Yay.
So let's talk about the very beginning of this episode. For the first time of all the Outlander episodes, we get a viewer discretion kind of little comment come up. What did you guys think about that when you saw it?
I think it made sense because I think those scenes were so graphic that I don't think they went too far. I think they were very graphic, and for certain people who may have had a similar experience, it would have been too much. And so that was a good warning.
Ryan, what did you think when you saw that?
It catches your attention, I think, more than anything, because they don't do that every episode. Like some shows show a warning before, graphic content, TVMA, whatever. They don't always do that. So that really, and it was on there for a long time, because it's usually just a quick flash, and that lingered for a while, and it just set up a mood.
So that you had time to read everything.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of
we've also had some really rough stuff so far in the season. So to have that come up, I was like, whoa, how bad is it gonna get, guys? How bad is it gonna get?
Don't act like you didn't know.
I did know, but again, you don't know how they're gonna portray it
how
on
much
screen.
they're going to
Yeah.
show.
Or not sure.
I knew it was gonna
Right.
get rough. So then we see, the beginning of the episode. It's very quick that we kind of get rid of Blackjack at the beginning. We see the cows come in, and the three musketeers come to the rescue and save Mr. Jamie.
With that great bagpipe music.
It was great. I was like, are they playing bagpipes as they're storming into the prison?
You get all excited and you get all hyped up.
Love that image of Blackjack under the door.
Yes.
Come on.
Hopefully we're
Stampled.
done with him for good. It was very kind of anticlimactic, though, the way that he was just kind of taken out by cows.
I agree.
By cows. But hey, whatever,
That's what happens.
That's what
sometimes.
happens,
That's
I
life,
guess.
Guys. That's life in the 1740s.
Yeah.
Dead by
Cows
cow.
to death by cow. And then so they very quickly get Jamie out of the situation and meet up with Claire, who is wearing pants again.
Yep.
Which kind of, like, I literally go to Jen, I was like, she's in pants. Why is she in pants? Do you think there's a certain reason why she was in pants, Ryan?
Well, I expected that she might have been riding more, or like they expected to get Jamie and then leave.
I feel like the situation was probably so dire that she didn't want to think too hard about getting dressed, and she was like, I'm just going to put on these pants and this shirt and let's go. Like, I liked it because it's like showing again, like she's kind of being like the man that saves the day instead of, the woman in the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
It gives her some power.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jamie's wearing a kilt
Jamie's not wearing
Guys.
anything,
I know, I'm
really.
kidding.
So are you. You're wearing a
I'm
t-shirt
making
right
a
now,
joke
then.
that I'm trying to get, a little,
Okay,
little
let's-
Twitter reaction out there.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of what Jamie goes through once they get to the monastery, and we see Jamie with a lot of flashbacks, in these torture and rape flashbacks, and suddenly understand why there was a viewer discretion on this episode.
Yep.
We saw more male full frontal.
Yeah. Well,
Jen's like,
know.
whatever.
At this point, whatever. That was less exciting.
That's the way I think it should be, though. If Game of Thrones can show women all the time, why can't we show men,
I agree with you, Jen.
And just, that's the body. That's the way it is.
Yes, that's the anatomy of a man.
That is the anatomy of a man. Sure enough.
And I think that Tobias Menzies as Blackjack is so brave to go there in those scenes.
Absolutely. I mean, where both of those actors went and not only with the rape and torture scenes, but how Jamie is kind of reacting to them and his memories to them. Oh my gosh. Like, I was so uncomfortable watching this episode just because, and more so uncomfortable when I was seeing Jamie react to Claire trying to help him, because you normally see those two in such a loving and tender kind of relationship and response to each other. We're seeing him lash out at Claire and wanting to hit her.
Well, because Blackjack really, like, one of the most twisted things he was doing was mixing, like, his Jamie's feelings for Claire. Well, he was mixing Jamie's feelings for Claire with Blackjack's touch, so that he kind of messed up Claire for Jamie in that way, I feel like, which is just
it was sick.
Horrible.
It was absolutely sick.
Tell me how you really feel.
I mean, props to the way they wrote that villain, but what a sick human being.
But it's good that they broke it up.
Yeah, it was definitely
flashbacks.
good the way that they did do it, and that's similar to, I think, the way that you kind of read it too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the monastery where they are, and the priest in particular, who Claire tells everything to.
Father Anselm. I loved it. I love that scene.
That was one of my favorite scenes in the whole episode. Like, it was a nice break in between all of the, like, tension and turmoil and, the scenes that were really hard to watch. And it was like, oh, this is, like, nice and refreshing. And
it was so important, I think, for Claire to get that absolving of her sin.
that weight.
Yeah, getting that weight lifted off and getting that spiritual guidance, because I think it really helped her get to the place she needed to be to help Jamie ultimately in the end. And Diana Gabaldon was saying it almost didn't make it into the episode. So I'm so glad that it did.
I know, me too. I think that was also so fitting for being the finale, and this secret has been something Claire has carried with her through obviously the entire season. And so for her at the end of this to kind of be able to let it go, so she can now make that next journey in life.
And
with
I'm
Jamie.
I'm so glad that Father Anselm believed her and just accepted her confession for what it was.
Well, it was interesting the way that he said it in terms of saying, oh no, this isn't something that's strange, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
He
It's
made
like
it like a positive
fascinating.
thing, and how exciting and great that is that she was part of this miracle. And that, I think, helped her be able to get over it as well.
Yeah.
And, gave her that
Because now
hope.
it's now two positive reactions to her true self and her true identity, one from Jamie and one from this priest. So at the monastery, we see Jamie have to go through a lot. Not only does he have to be fixed physically, but emotionally, I think is really where
his soul is damaged.
His soul was super, super damaged. He's in a very, very dark place. And we even see him talking to Murtaugh at one point and saying he wants to kill himself.
Basically.
I mean, this is the thing. We could not understand one word they were saying in the scene, but I understood exactly what they were talking about.
Where's my Gaelic translator when you need him?
I'm telling you, Google has an app for that. We should.
I'm looking forward to when the translation appears online, but I mean, you can tell. Like, you don't even need to get the translation to be able to tell that conversation they're having, which is just how powerful those two actors are. And it's really, I enjoyed hearing the Gaelic too.
Yeah, and the
nice
tone
touch.
of it, and just seeing.
It's a beautiful language.
It is.
Yeah.
I really, really. So then we also see those scenes when Claire's actually fixing Jamie's hand, which to me were very hard to watch.
Oh, and it blood squirted out of the one finger.
The breaking of the bones again. Oh my gosh. I remember reading it in the book. I was so kind of disturbed by it because it's very detailed. But then seeing it too, I was like, oh.
I know.
Yeah, and actually, coming up after our break, we're going to have a little bit more in-depth of the hand breaking with our friends at Outlander Anatomy. So hold on for that. But back to what you're saying.
Well,
I was going to say, the setting the bones was really graphic, and I liked that they showed that. Because when she set the one finger, like the blood came out. And I mean, that would be a really hard thing, because if all those bones are broken, you know, and she's setting each one, I mean.
And the hand is such like a sensitive, delicate instrument. There's so many nerves in the hand. We will learn more about this from
I broke
Outlander
my finger,
anatomist,
and it still doesn't bend right. I mean, it never, your fingers don't heal right.
Well, and and I like how we hear Claire's voiceover about how important, you know, the hand is, and it's, you know, it's Jamie's hand is like so important to him. He's a warrior.
Especially in like 1700 Scotland. I mean, he's a soldier.
Yeah.
So he needs, and a farmer and a laird. He needs that hand.
He does. And not only is Claire able to fix Jamie his physical wounds, but she's the one who does go into the darkness with him to help fix him and help him emotionally and get him to actually talk about what happened to him.
Yeah. Using that lavender oil to awaken that part in him
memories
again.
and
she basically exorcised him.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me, because every time I watch scenes with them and there's violence involving the two of them, I always feel like there's still something sexual. Like in the scene when he spanked her before, there was that sexual tension. I felt the same way when she was just slapping him. Like I felt like there was this weird sexual tension, like in the episode, and maybe that's just me.
I think that's just you.
Maybe I'm just reading into it too much.
I'm not.
No, I
there's like a relationship
Ryan,
masochism that they enjoy.
No, I don't think it's that. I just think that they have such beautiful chemistry on screen that, you know, just anytime those two are in a scene, it's just hot. And, you know.
I mean, okay, it was a little hot, but I'm not going to say that they were getting sexual pleasure out of.
No, I don't think they're getting
that
sexual
part of the story.
They were going really dark with that. Yeah. But it definitely was a little sexualized, just because they're both two really good-looking people. So finally, Jamie is somewhat fixed. And they decide that their only option is to leave Scotland at this point, and they decide to go to France. So we say goodbye to Scotland and company. We get a beautiful going away kiss from Mr. Angus, and Claire does not think it's very beautiful.
No, that wasn't.
I loved the whole goodbye scene. What do you guys think of kind of them saying goodbye to their Scottish roots?
I'm gonna miss them.
I know.
I'm sad.
It was to me a little anticlimactic. I don't know, sometimes when seasons end, I want more to make me think about what happened and lead me into the next season, especially since there is a next season.
Claire being pregnant and suggesting the Jacobite cause wasn't enough for you?
Well, so the pregnancy was like, oh, okay, cool. But that's not something that's going to be like, oh my gosh, I need to know what, because pregnant, she's going to take 9 months and she's going to be pregnant.
It's not really a cliffhanger.
It wasn't a bomb that's like, I want to know what happens right now.
There wasn't enough bombs throughout the season?
I know.
I think we deserved our pleasant moment.
A little farewell.
They're going to leave us hanging till 2016. Like,
I know. 6, 8, 10 months. I mean, who knows how long it's going to be.
A year?
No.
Possibly. Probably not that long.
I can't.
I'm calling April.
Well, we see. I'm glad that we got closure. We have we see happy Jamie. We see kind of the looking forward to the future, to France, to a new baby.
Right.
What will probably be a very beautiful baby.
Right.
Those two.
I'm sure we're going to see him still struggle over his experiences in that dungeon with Blackjack. So that'll be interesting to watch as well.
And we got that beautiful last shot of the ship sailing away, which in an interview I actually saw Sam Hewen said that was his favorite thing to shoot of the entire season.
Riding on that ship?
Yeah.
Riding on that
That'd
ship
be so
because they were on a real ship
because
in
they
Scotland.
literally put them out to sea, and as Ron Moore was saying in his little blurb on Starz, that they did several passes in a helicopter to get that shot.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it was like a legit at-sea shot.
It was really awesome. I really enjoyed that, and what a great finale. It's a great way to end an amazing season of Outlander. But we will go on a quick break right now. We'll be right back with some Outlander Anatomy. Yay!
Yay!
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So this is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them, go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on theStream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
And you guys, welcome back to our Outlander After Show here on theStream.tv. I'm going to throw it over to Jen, who's going to introduce our very special guest today.
All right, guys, I've been talking to them for quite a while now. We're so excited to finally have them on the show. With a mini lesson on the hand, we've got our official Outlander anatomist, Dr. Carmen L. Schmidt.
Hello, Dr. Carmen. How are
Hey, Dr.
you?
Schmidt, how are you?
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about what you do with Outlander and anatomy.
Well, I write a blog every 2 weeks, and I post on something about that I've seen on the Outlander series. And it's very easy to do because there's a lot of anatomy that shows on that, on those episodes.
And what's the link to your blog so people can check it out?
The link to it, it's a website. It'll be on Facebook, and it's outlanderanatomy.com.
And you've been an anatomist for how long now?
36 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
you know
amazing.
your stuff.
She knows her stuff.
Yeah.
So does Outlander know their stuff? Tell us a little bit about kind of what we saw in this week's episode, specifically with Jamie's hand.
Oh, it was extremely well done. Extremely well done and very convincing. The damage to his hands, I'll explain during the lesson. Claire's treatment of his hands was just outstanding. It was done very, very well. I was completely pleased, and tears were rolling.
Yeah.
Were you as grossed out by the blood as we were? When she were you as grossed out by the setting of the one finger and all the blood as we were?
Oh, no, not
You're
at
used to
all.
it, right?
No, you're used to it.
Yeah. So let's get into your lesson. Take it away.
Okay. Well, I want to thank all of the Outlander Anatomy students who are watching tonight. As was said before, I'm going to give a mini lesson on the anatomy of the hand. And it'll be short and sweet, so I hope you'll listen up. First image. The hand sits at the end of our upper limbs, and it is divided into 3 different regions.
Oh, look.
The blue region that you are seeing is the wrist. The green region on the hand is the mid-hand region, which includes the palm. And then the hand has 5 digits, numbered 1 through 5, beginning with the thumb. In the United States, we also refer to the digits as a thumb and 4 fingers. And the amazing thing about the hand is that it is the most mobile part of our musculoskeletal system. Next image. The skeleton of the hand is extremely complicated. It has 27 small bones in it. And these bones lie in the wrist. There are 8. There are 5 that are found in the mid-hand region, and then there are 14 that are found in the digits, and they all have different names. Now, one of the things that is really interesting about the bones is that the more bones you have, the more joints that occur between those bones, and where there's more joints, there's more possible movements. Next image. The bones of the hands are moved when muscles that attach to them contract. And surprisingly, many of the muscles that move the bones of the hand are actually found in the forearm. And this image shows some of the muscles in the front of the forearm. When these muscles contract, it causes the fingers and the wrist to curl, and this is a motion known as flexion. On the back side of the forearm, we actually have another group of muscles, and when they contract, they open up the digits and the wrist, an action which is known as extension. Next image. This is an image of the hand with the skin removed, and you'll notice the red parts. Those are muscles of the hand themselves. The hand itself contains 19 very small muscles, and these are engaged in fine movements of the digits. I did the math, and actually there are 34 muscles that operate on the bones of the hand. It's really astonishing. Next. Now this sad image shows Jamie and his mutilated left hand. It's swollen, it's bloody, there are lacerations of the skin, and on the ring finger we can see bone and perhaps a little tendon showing through, and it's extraordinarily painful. Next. The damage to Jamie's hand actually was done from blows by the mallet. As horrible as it was to see the nail pass through the palm of his hand, it actually did not do much anatomical damage to his hand at all. While it was painful, it really didn't destroy much of his anatomy. Next image. This is the image of Claire. Now she is tasked with taking care of 9 fractures within Jamie's hand. And this is probably the most complex fracture which she took care of. This is called a compound fracture, and it is when the bone comes out through the skin. Now what she's doing here is she's gripping the tip of his finger, and she's going to pull slightly, and this allows the bone shard to go back into the finger. And then she's going to realign the 2 portions of the broken bone and align them into the normal anatomical position. Next. Now, when her work is done and she has stitched up the skin that was lacerated and set the bones, she then places his hand on a small wooden pallet. And if you notice, the ring finger is bound to the little finger by some wire wickets and some pieces of wood. Now, this is brilliant. And the reason of it is because Claire is using his little finger as a splint to take care and stabilize the more damaged ring finger. Then she wraps everything with a strap of linen. Now, this odd-looking apparatus is actually an external cage, and it is absolutely brilliant too. And the reason of it is because it stabilizes Jamie's hand in the anatomical position and immobilizes it during the healing process. Now, I have to say that I give 5 stars to Claire and her medical expertise, and 5 stars to Jamie for his suffering. Thank you.
That sounds like that's 10 stars then. We like that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm allowed.
Keetin was over here turning away from the monitor when they were showing the image, the last one where she's setting the finger in the bone.
It brings back the memories and the sound effects, and I don't do blood really well, but it's fascinating. I feel like learning more about it. I want to go back and watch it to see actually her do exactly what you just explained to me, because I understand it now.
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy.
I can make a suggestion, Keetin, and that is that if you do go back and try to think about the anatomy, it actually helps you get past the grossness of what's happening.
You're not thinking about the blood, you're thinking about the bones.
Think about it scientifically.
Right.
Yes,
so you can check out Dr. Schmidt at Outlander Anatomy. So if you want to learn more, all of your lessons are available for people to check out.
Yes,
absolutely.
We appreciate you being here.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Enlightening.
That was amazing.
I know.
I want to go take a whole anatomy course with her.
I know. I bet she's a great teacher.
We can hang out with her.
Yeah,
awesome.
I love it.
I think that was exciting, and what I think is more exciting is Twitter.
Oh, well.
Twitter.
Okay.
Well, how about before you get into
Okay,
Twitter,
fine.
let's talk about the live chat. Since I made noise about that earlier.
Literally, we're making noise about live chat.
Thanks for joining in with us live, guys. Thanks to Sue's Possibilities, MQ, Connie Sandlin, loving all the tweets. I mean, the live chats. They're not tweets. I'm confused, guys.
It's okay.
But MQ agreed with you. She was like, OMG, white bone and tendon.
Yes,
and
in my face.
And I didn't ask Dr. Schmidt, and I was thinking about this. They had to have used some sort of prop hand, because obviously his hand wasn't literally
Right.
broken. But even as a, I like special effects and I look into prosthetics a lot, and that looked so realistic and so graphic that you couldn't have, even if it was fake, it didn't look fake at all.
It was very well done.
Yes.
So what Twitter questions do you have for us?
Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for tweeting at us all season long. I know that Outlander is coming to an end here, and I am sad about that, but I do love tweeting with everyone. So here's our first question from Twitter. We'll pull it up right now. Do we have it? We don't have a Twitter? Okay, that's fine. I'm going to read it. I have it right in front of me. So from In the Public Eye, they want to know, is Blackjack Randall dead? The door hit him and the cows trampled him. Do we think that Blackjack is dead?
I feel like until you see a body in the ground, nothing is for sure, right?
Yeah, I would agree with Jen. And I just don't think if Blackjack's going to go out, he's going to go out with a bigger bang than that, I think. So
there was a lot of blood
coming out
of
his head. Yeah, so
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Ryan,
can't
what do you think?
say. I've read the book. I can't say.
I think until a body is shown, he's not dead as well. That's just kind of how I
That's a
am
rule,
with TV.
right?
And honestly, I was actually a little disappointed with, I felt like it was sort of like, hey, here's Blackjack under a door, and here's cows at the same time. They just didn't I felt like the door would have trampled him more and cows would have stepped on him more, and I don't know, I just was hoping for more violence, I guess.
It just wasn't the most graphic part
of
the episode.
It wasn't the most violent episode yet. I wanted more, clearly.
We wanted to see Blackjack really get torn up by those cow hooves.
I want to see his head caved in.
Stanced by a bull. Well, so again, thanks
Okay.
to In the Public Eye for that question. And I got the Twitter thing back up now again, so we're rocking and rolling. Here is our next question from MLIS777. And they want to know, do we think that they allowed enough time to pass for Jamie and his recovery?
I mean, obviously for a TV show, you have only a limited amount of time where you're allowed to show it. You have to condense it a lot. And you really couldn't tell how much time passed.
I got the sense that time did pass.
Yeah, I got the sense that a lot of time passed too, but I didn't really see much change in the season, so it couldn't have been that much.
We felt the struggle there, though.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and in my opinion, if you figure about the amount of time that it actually took to happen, because it wasn't really in jail or prison all that long. So it's like, okay, if it took 4 days to break him, can he come back in 4 days? It doesn't have to be months.
I think it was.
And it was felt longer than a couple days. So, but it doesn't have to be months at a time.
I think the recovery is going to keep going into season 2.
I think so too.
Yeah.
We'll see that when they're in France. Okay, so this is our final question of our Outlander after show season.
Season 1.
All right, so this is from our good friend Mountain Barks, our very favorite dog of Outlander.
It's Bouton Barks.
Bouton. Well, I'm
Bouton.
poor at French. Okay, so what scene or moment had the most impact on you as a viewer?
Okay, the scene that really sticks out in my head is the opening scene right after the viewer discretion, where we zero in on Jamie's face and then it opens up to show Blackjack lying behind him, and then the way Blackjack just kind of gets up kind of nonchalantly and just starts getting dressed.
Didn't want to wake him up,
Not just the way he was like, yep, did that, time to get my pants on. I mean, that was just
sick.
It spoke mountains to me.
I thought the scene of Claire fixing Jamie's hand had a huge impact on me because, even in modern day, they don't really let people who, family members do surgery on other family members and things like that.
Who else is going to do it?
Exactly. No, exactly. But you see, it means so much to her.
Right.
It's so important to her. She knows how important his hand is to him. So just seeing her go through that struggle, but also having to deal with the grotesqueness
and
of
trying
the hand.
desperately not to have to cut that thing off.
Yeah.
Try to save that hand. Yeah.
That was huge for me.
I think for me, the scene, especially I think as a male perspective, is a little different, is the scene when he actually submits to Blackjack and they actually make love. And that scene to me was really hard to watch. And I had this weird feeling though. And I know people wanted us to talk about it more and we didn't really talk about it a lot, but that to me I think was the hardest to watch and had the biggest impact.
Love, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it was. He
was trying his hardest not to, but I think he just couldn't help himself.
Yeah, I mean, he submitted basically to him and gave in. And
yeah.
Well, that's because he was using Claire.
Right.
He was using Claire against him and messing with his mind so that he thought it was Claire, to a point.
Difficult,
to a point.
definitely.
Well, that's what I have from Twitter. Guys, again, thank you so much for tweeting at us all season long. And thank you for tuning in. Keep tweeting at us because we are going to have some Outlander book club episodes coming out where we do some comparisons between the book and the show. So look for those coming up.
And let's keep talking online as the new casting comes out and everything about season 2.
I can't wait to know about the casting.
Yeah, keep us updated. Let us know what you think, and we'll respond.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys again so much for sticking with us throughout this season, or the second half of this season. We are there with you throughout this next Outlander. And yeah, keep commenting. Make sure you subscribe to theStream.tv's YouTube. Follow us all on social media. And thanks again. We love our fellow Outlanders. I just can't thank you guys enough. You guys are the best fans ever.
Yay, thank you.
See you next season.
See you next season.
Yeah, bye. For more of the Outlander After Show, hit that button and subscribe to theStream.tv.